Slow news day. I don't know what to make a video on. More about 3D printers and how I'm pretty sure this is gonna go over about fucking. Now you can't fix them. So bad time to get into the hobby now, guys. Or DIY fucking making your own rails and stuff because you can make your own CNC machine. You can make your own 3D printer. You don't really need to go out and buy all of it. You just need a microcontroller, a little bit, a computer to make some serial codes get put on there, and then it's all about just setting up your tracks right so they can work in a XYZ axis, go up and down. It's not hard to make one, and they're like, it's the end of the world. Yeah, is it? It's really not that hard. It really isn't. It'll take a couple days worth of work and probably a few $100. But how much do they cost now? There's ways of getting around this.
You already know that Washington State wants to ban you from fixing your own 3D printers, but this is a different bill and far worse. In 48 hours, the state of Washington is scheduled to vote on a bill that does something that we used to think was
HB 2320. Hold on, let me go look this up. Just so you guys can look at this real quick while I go through it. Just slow drag. Is it blocked out at all? Hold up. Okay, so I was gonna put this whole thing in, but it's easier just to bloop, go to this thing, and I'll leave it up in my comments to read it. I'll even put the substitute bill in too, because it's a lot to fucking put together in that. But hold on, let me read it myself real quick. Okay, so I don't know how this is actually considered, how they legally can do this to the state, because it's not illegal for you to make your own personal firearms. Most states, every state actually, will allow you a permitted, as long as they're within the actual eyes of the law. So the ATF can't bother you. You can make your own gun. I get the distributing of a manufactured gun, if you made it yourself and selling it, that's a crime. I don't believe it should be, but they're trying to make it so you can't make them. But I'm like, you can personally make your own firearms. That's allowed. So I don't get how this is even being able to pass, because this is going against the law, the actual rights and our rights and shit. Because this is putting a curtail on everything. There's no, look at this list, and they make sure to say antique firearms and antique weaponry. Where does it say? It said that antique firearms. So 1898. So muskets and bullshit, and what's called though, loaded the way revolvers used to be. I forgot what they're called. They shoot basically musket almost, but it's loaded caps and shit. But of course, semi-automatic rifle, sword gun. I hate how they do that, semi-automatic and automatic. One shoots one to three bursts, and then the other one shoots. Brrrah. You're not making. You could still make all this. This is another thing I'm trying to get at. Is you could make all this. You can make your own thing. You don't have to even register anything with this, and make your own fucking CNC machines or 3D printers. And the 3D printers, I don't know how they get lumped into this. I get how too, but at the same time, are you manufacturing to sell them? We already have laws in the books. They're preventing us. They're making it so we can't have firearms because they're trying to set up martial law. This is exactly what this is. These are only being passed because they know we're getting rowdy. We're getting rowdy, and they're gonna fucking do shit. People are gonna bounce. They don't want it to happen. They're trying to make it so no one can have guns. Or there's no way for us to replenish lines. So we did have let's say an occupation that did form up, and then there was people a civil war. There'd be no way for them to actually make their own shit, because the government would be constantly knowing where all the people are making the guns that are being distributed. Because just like a printer, you're wasting all your yellow ink because the government needs to know what you're doing. Can't have any fucking objectives coming up. Okay. Well, back to the video.
was impossible. It doesn't just ban a physical object. It doesn't just ban a specific tool. For the first time, it attempts to ban a file. If this passes, having specific
They don't get how that works. The people writing these bills are retarded. They're stupid. You could totally get around that. You just got to build it in layers or something like that. And it wouldn't be hard to fucking put everything together and weld it together, or even just click them all into place. So it's because the thing prints in layers. So as long as you don't give it the full schematic of what you're doing, and you just print them off each layer and then just stick them all together, That's it. Way there is so. That's just me off the top of my head. There would be so much more smarter ways to fucking do this. Fuck, I can't really think right now. You could probably put it in between. What do they fucking call them? I'm gonna just call it a little computer, but in between your signals, you could have it just encode it and just change it. Oh, using the block computers, commercials out on your computer. I forgot what it's called.
Arrangements of
Just
ones and
Raspberry
zeros
Pi
on
can
your
solve all
hard
this.
drive won't just get you
And
fined.
it's a million between the internet
A
connection.
criminal. You don't have to print it. You don't have to share it. You don't even have to know how to use it. You just have to possess it.
That's the thing. If I went out and made my own, like, let's say I went out and just completely from the ground up engineered my own thing, then they wouldn't have the file. And do railguns fall into this category? Because they had some of the features of some weapons.
We are watching the birth of digital contraband. And if you think it stops at the state
Well,
line,
no, hold on. Digital contraband's been a thing for years. That's a shitty way to put it. Like, pirating movies is considered digital. Like, pirating, I mean, getting a hold of certain books that are banned is considered digital fucking contraband.
or stops at 3D printing, my 20 plus years in information security and as a professional hacker tells me you have not been paying attention. Let's get the legal definition.
Oh my god, there's so many smarter people that know how to do this shit better than me, and like, I'm coming up with these stupid ideas. There's so many ways to slice them. You could make them in half pieces, or just make them into chunks so they never get registered the right way.
Out of the way immediately.
They're making an industry. Okay, I swear to God, this is what they do. They come up with these stupid half-brained ideas to solve a problem that really isn't a problem, and they exacerbate another problem by making an underground market. This will become a black market, and when there's a black market, there's definitely going to be more weapons being made. Like, God forbid someone like a glunk.
Because the language in House Bill 2320 is absolutely terrifying for anyone who works with computers. The bill explicitly creates a new category of contraband called digital firearm manufacturing.
We're living in like the 1969, like where they got drugs illegal. They're doing it with physical properties now. Like, intellectually, how the fuck are they going to do it if someone wanted to go out and design their own firearm and it's their own piece? The government is now basically claiming your copyright on you because you made a weapon. I feel like that's what falls into all this. From what I was reading, like I said, it doesn't make sense. Like, do they claim the property of your actual intellectual properties because you made it? Because there's going to be a bunch of nerds that are going to maliciously comply and just make their own fucking shit. That's the miracle of engineering, guys. This is retarded.
Code. Let's
Fucking
look
dumb.
at the bill. This is the exact text from Section 1 to Section 11. Digital firearm manufacturing code means any digital instructions, code, or data that may be used to program a three-dimensional printer, CNC milling machine, or similar machine to produce a firearm or unfinished frame.
We already have manufacturing laws, though. Like, how is this getting into it? Like, first off, CNC machines don't always use a file. You don't need a file to use a CNC machine. You just need the numbers. You just need to look at, okay, needs to be cut here, cut there, and shit. It's not like 3D printing where you get, like, an actual, like, 3D layering shit, what do they call it, the AutoCAD of it. And my brain is like, what the fuck? They're not going to be able to do this. It's not going to be able to work. There will be people that will just go out and, like, where do railguns fall into this? Because they didn't pop up with railguns. How about laser guns? Like, those are becoming a fucking thing. Wait till they get rid of the air rifles because they've become guns.
Or receiver. Did you catch that? May be used. That is the most dangerous phrase in this entire...
That you can't, like I said, you can't own it. It's just like worse than a book burning thing going on. Like, you're not even allowed to think about it. Like, that's how I get it. Because you could have okay, it's like owning banned books. Like, if you were to have the book and you get in trouble holding it, you know what I mean? Like, distributing it. There's a bunch of weird shit to this, man. They can't do that. That's pre-law, pre-cognizant bullshit. Like, it's like that movie, fucking, when the Minority Report, what the fuck it's called. When they fucking pull the fucking people for the freaking crimes before they did crimes. Like you can own like it's like that's how seeds and that's how weed usually like the preservation of like strains. That's how you get that to happen with spores for like bud. Like it's okay to have things for preservation if you're not going to use them, because if that thing dies off or disappears, then we don't have it anymore. Like there's so many people that do that too. Like there's people who just archive everything.
Entire document. It doesn't say that the code must be used. It doesn't require the code to be complete. It doesn't even require the code to be functional. If you have a snippet of G-code, a corrupted STL, or an unfinished CAD project that may be used to create a part of a frame,
they're monitoring us now. How are we allowing this? This is invasion of privacy. How are they even getting under the softwares? Like, some nerd out there is going to make an open source software that doesn't communicate with the government, because the government doesn't need to be in every fucking thing we do. God forbid, dude. Like, there's so many practicalities of why someone should own a weapon besides, like, what the government says you're going to do with it. Oh, it's just for hunting. No. Most of the time it's home protection. And why the fuck? They don't need to know everything they know. Like, it's okay to own firearms that if you make them and shit. Like, it's when you can't. It's because you don't have to. Remember this. This is what happens when if you make your own gun. This is the part they hate. It's where they hate ghost guns so bad. It's because you don't have to register it. You don't. Until you distribute it to someone else, because that's why they put the VIN numbers on them all. Is because the serial. What do I call it? They fucking what's it called? So you can't go out and they know where they're coming from. So it's monitoring, but without it's more kosher for that idea. Fuck, like they need to. There's no way to get around this. They're gonna make you in trouble for holding the thing, even if you're not doing anything with it. Thinking about it is basically what you're doing. If you think about it, you're gonna get in trouble, because the moment you go to design it, you get ATF at your door, or like they're looking for reasons to take the computers away from people and all the stuff. They're literally coming up with stupid harebrained ways, because it's getting to that point of 2036 and we will own nothing and be happy, because the 3D printers, the CNC machines, they allow you to be able to create without having to go to a manufacturer that fucking sells you a product that's 17. They make it as in Venezuela or something like that, or like fucking not Venezuela, yeah, Venezuela, or fucking Colombia or some shit, dude. They're gonna like basically put us in socialism. Like, this is the tier, so you can't buy the things above you, or you have to, but you won't be able to afford it because you're too poor. And then you have to work for pennies on the dollar just to get fucking nothing.
That data is now legally radioactive.
You're not allowed to create.
They are banning the active.
This is worse than any of the rights to repair things I've ever heard, because this falls into the rights to repair. This is coming at it from like instead of like think of the kids kind of angle, it's still think of the kids, but like it's guns. They're like, oh yeah, you guys are gonna make guns with this. How many nerds do you know making guns with this? Yeah, there are people out there, but like, and even that we live in fucking America, we have a fucking right to have them.
Printing, they are banning the potential of the file itself. But here is where they flip the legal system completely upside down. Historically, in the United States, the burden is on the state to prove you intended to commit a crime.
The burden is on the state. Like, that doesn't work anymore. Anywhere. They don't do that anymore. You're already guilty the moment they arrest you. Like, that's something we all need to fucking agree upon, because that's the fucking truth. You have to sit there trying to prove yourself innocent nowadays. The law has fallen, dude. Everything has fallen. This is ridiculous. This is what dictatorships do. They try to get rid of the guns and any way of manufacturing them without them knowing. Just like they said, you're not allowed to print things without the government knowing that. That's why you have to pay a subscription fee to keep the perpetual monster going. That is the serial numbers that are going back and forth, telling you that you can't make a pamphlet. That's the reason why all of them were so expensive. It's because that. Now they're going to do it with 3D printers. Watch, they won't let you get certain. They're going to make it at some point after this, probably, that you can't get certain PLA filament and shit, because they don't want you making certain shit made of the plastic it's made out of, because it's made of what Glocks are made out of or something.
Bill changes that.
Polymer.
It introduces a rebuttal presumption of criminal intent. Okay, now let me show you the text from Section 3. In any prosecution under this section, proof that the defendant possessed digital firearm manufacturing code creates a rebuttal presumption that the defendant intended to use the code to manufacture a firearm or unfinished frame or receiver in violation of this section. Read that again.
Listen to vape cart.
Creates a rebuttal presumption. Here is what that means in plain English. If you possess these files, the state does not have to prove you were going to print a gun. The state assumes you were. The burden of proof shifts
That's
from them
not how a law should
to
be written.
you.
That seems
You
fault.
are
That's bad
effectively
written
guilty
law.
until you are proven innocent. You do not need to have a 3D printer. You do not need to have any plastic filament. You just need the data to be considered a presumptive criminal. Let's play this out in the real world, because this is where it gets dystopian. Let's say
I found it. I almost watched it.
that you are a privacy advocate, a researcher, or you're just a guy with a public email address. Someone sends you an unsolicited email. Attached to that email is a zip file containing these prohibited STLs. Your email client...
That's going to become a way of swatting someone or getting someone to get a fucking FBI, ATF visit. Oh, that's going to be used maliciously. Not even the government can use that maliciously on you. Like, the government can do that too. Once you get a random file sent to you, it's the wrong file, and you open it up, and now you're in jail because you have possession of a firearm. That's how they're looking at it. It's not even like attempt of ownership of it. It's straight up they're gonna put you down as a manufacturer, that's a lot of federal time.
Downloads it.
Fuck.
The attachment is on your computer. Congratulations, you are now in possession of digital contraband. Under this text of this bill, that possession creates a presumption that you intend to manufacture or distribute illegal items. You didn't ask for it, you didn't print it, you might not even know it's there, but the data is on your hard drive, and the law says that makes you a suspect. But loyal.
How is that legal? How is that fucking legal? How is that allowed? How is that even a thing? It's a precog law. Like I said, they're trying to get us busted for crimes we haven't committed yet, or they're setting up the infrastructure to put people in jail like the Gestapo would do. Like, they're doing the things to set you up. Like, the secret police are here, and I'm seeing people calling them Nazis and shit. They're hiding amongst us right in plain sight. They're telling you, they're making laws so they can already put you in jail. They got the boots on the ground from the fucking ICE everywhere as an excuse to say that they're revitalizing the National Guard buildings, and they're fucking doing all this other nonsense that doesn't make sense right now. The train system, the electric cars, everything's designed to make you stay in a box. Make you in a box. It's an invisible prison. They said before we're already in an invisible prison. Yeah, because of choice. Because all the freedom of choice we have is not actually a real freedom of choice, because everything else is all owned by the same fucking people most of the time. So, like, most of the time when you go to buy something, it's already from the same 6 people. So it's either you're getting one shitty product or the other shitty product in a different color. So, like, oh, this one's better? What makes it better? Then you look inside, it's all the same fucking garbage. It's just, I don't know, maybe tweaked a little bit better and better put together. It's nothing really different. It's an illusion. It's a facade that you're seeing, a mirage. Just like this. They're going to put the mirage in front of your face, and the mirage, when you see it, is going to make you get in trouble when you have possession of it. So it's like a magical fucking Pandora's box waiting to be opened. We're fucked. They're going to get all the smart people in jail, too. All the fucking nerdy dudes who can build things better.
I don't print guns. I just print cosplay armor, sci-fi props, and maybe some...
Yeah, actually, I didn't think about that. If you were to make a fucking, like, replica gun for, like, a costume, like a Halo costume or something, would you get in trouble for that? Or if I wanted to make an AK-47, but with, like, no working parts, just make a solid piece of plastic, would I get in trouble for that? Because it technically is the frame, and from there you can make a gun.
Airsoft accessories.
Oh, I didn't think of that. Airsoft guns. Well, I did say the air rifles and shit, but I didn't think about that. You could 3D print all that shit for it, and it does mirror gun.
Wrong.
They're just taking away rights to repair.
This is where the broad...
This is rights to repair being fucking destroyed too. Because if this gets fully committed to, they're going to do it to other things. Where, like, they're going to think of the rich fat cat companies, which say, like, automotive, for example, because they don't want you 3D printing, like, caps for, like, your oil or your fucking other shit. Like, one of the caps fall off or something. They don't want you doing that. That's proprietary knowledge. Go fuck yourself. You can take a AR camera, take a picture of it, get all the outside of it, put it in there, and you make it into the slices you need. Like,
language of may be used creates a trap for every single maker in this state. Think about the files on your hard drive right now. Do you have a Picatinny rail for a Nerf blaster? Do you have a stock?
See? That's what I'm talking about. That's fucking... Dude, there should be so many fucking people who just get in trouble for nothing. Or what if you wake up, you paid money for these, for for the fucking prints, and they just poof them off your computer because like they're illegal. This has got to be like the people in the 60s, 1960s, like fucking turning around and getting told they can't do drugs, and then I was like, well, I have possession. Like, do I go to? Yes, you should go to jail. What? You just passed it. I didn't vote.
Airsoft toy? Do you have a sci-fi prop from a video game that
That looks
happens
cool.
to use
I like that
realistic
prop.
dimensions? Many airsoft parts and real steel parts share identical dimensions. A 3D printed vertical grip for an airsoft toy fits on a real rifle. A printed slide for a cosplay prop might contain geometry that matches a real receiver.
Like I said, intellectual properties are going to be taken away. So if you just go out and make it yourself, you're in trouble now. Do you get in trouble for making them? Well, yeah, you would. It's what it said already. Like, because possession. There's so much to this. It's retarded. Like, they can't pass it. This is such a bad law.
Under this bill, the state doesn't
We're not
have
going to be
prove
able
that
to
you
vote
designed
on it.
for
It's
a
going to be the
firearm.
fucking Senate.
They
and
just
shit.
have to prove that the
Okay.
gun may be used to produce
We're going to end up
firearms.
needing a riot.
If your
Oh, wait,
toy
this is what
file
they're preventing.
mathematically compatible with a weapon, you are now in possession of presumptive contraband. You are effectively betting your freedom that a prosecutor and a jury understand the nuance between a toy and a felony. If you are paying attention, this should really piss you
That's
off.
the thing, though. They're not going to care because they're going to set the first people to get in trouble will be the ones that be made example of. So no one does it. They don't like. We don't want you even playing with toys. Oh my god, there's a lot of 3D printing people out there that actually do the airsoft stuff too. I see some cool fucking setups. That's gonna cause a shit show for those people.
Off. Innocent people are going to be swept up and turned into criminals, while criminals will continue to do what criminals do: break laws. Now I know what some of you are saying.
That's the part that makes me laugh about gun control. The idea of gun control is stupid. I know you can't control guns unless you have guns. Okay, so you're already lying to us. You're hypocritical, and then you're gonna put arbitrary things for people to get in trouble. It's not control. Well, it is. The word is control. They're controlling you, what your ability to possess and own. It's to not infringe. It means we're supposed to have it equal to whatever the government has, like missiles, guns, everything. And they eroded all of it away. If you notice all the states that are doing this, it looks like they're lighting up. They're not the states you would really usually think of, but like they all have big box stuff. Because you actually look at like population density of people everywhere. There's not a lot of people living in these areas. You know what I mean? And you'd be like, oh, why is that? Because most of them are all national parks. Like, and that's like an excuse for the government to own land when they're not supposed to own land. So they say it's a national park and they put like bases on there. And then like there's a whole bunch of black site shit happening all the time and people going missing in these areas. Massachusetts isn't passing it. That's cool.
Loyal. I live in Texas. I live in Florida. I live in the UK. This is a Washington problem. Good luck with that. Well, you are missing the bigger picture. Digital files do not respect state borders, and this bill knows that. This is for all the people in the back.
Would it be considered moving product through state lines now too? If you sent someone an email and they live in another state, oh, this could get really fucking hairy. Like the charges you'd get, and you show up and you're like, why do I have like 15 charges? What the fuck?
Back of the room that don't think Washington law can affect you in other states or countries.
But wouldn't the proof of burden, like you said, the proof? They're trying to tell you that. Well, they already said they have their hedge on it, but like, how do they have to have the intent of you going to distribute? That's the thing I'm saying. Like, because you can go without any of this stuff. You can go buy metal, put it all together, go buy a barrel yourself, that's still legal, thank God. You can buy all the parts you need and build all the other parts that you don't need, and then you don't have to register the gun. ATF, that's what they call them, ghost guns. It's all a bunch of bullshit. It's just a handmade gun. It's a homemade DIY crafted weapon. Like, it's not hard. And all you got to do is keep up with whatever, like you said, compliance of your state's laws are for owning a weapon. Like, if you do leave the state with a weapon, just clear it when you go into a next state. Most places, as long as the gun's within the state's law where you're going to. Like I said, it gets hairy when you make like single shots are pretty easy to get go with it. It's when you start adding like magazines to it, and when you start doing that, it can get dicey. As long as it's semi-automatic, you usually are clear. As long as it depends on magazine capacity and the state. Some states are retarded, and they let you not have anything with a certain amount in it. But like, easy to comply with, barrel length and stuff. But you can go buy these parts as long as you don't have any criminal record. And technically, I don't think that's true. But depending on the state, because like some states you can't buy ammo, but there's a lot of states where you don't even need like a license for that. You can go make a zip gun, like out of a fucking iron pipe and a fucking another one welded to it. So, like, and a ball peen hammer. Like, what the fuck? This is cut. This is very cut.
Places like Printables, Make-A-World, and Things will be legally at risk for hosting.
I'm gonna make a video probably on how to make a 3D printer or a CNC machine, because the amount of money to buy like the rails you need and all that, it's like a cheap $300-$400 project. Like, I already got enough microcontrollers up there to make it. Like, it just needs to move left and right. I got the fucking 9-volt batteries, motors too, like, so I could move it all around too. I could set everything up. I couldn't make a 3D printer because that's a little too much work for me to figure out. But a CNC machine is pretty fucking easy. Even one for wood. You can use them for metal. You just need to change the bits on them and shit. And I might have to get bigger motors for it to drop down the right way without the maintain torque.
These files.
Without fucking throwing itself
because
apart.
If those files are accessed or used by someone in Washington State, that transaction falls into Washington's jurisdiction. Do you think these companies are going to build complex and sophisticated geofencing systems just to save specific files? No. To protect themselves from a felony manufacturing charge, they won't just block Washington IP addresses. They will simply purge the files entirely. This bill...
That's what I was saying. You're going to wake up one day and your files are just going to be gone that you paid for. Because of state compliance. They might even do it before the state compliance because they know it's going to be passed. I have a feeling this is going to be passed. This is going to be something you can't overturn either, really, for a long time. Even with enough bitching, because there's not enough people in the communities to do it.
Washington censorship
not enough people
to
get
the
it.
rest of the world.
Actually, I take that back a little bit. The CNC people, there's a lot of them out there, and that's going to fuck up so many businesses. And then, like you said, every January 1st of every year, you get audited if you run a manufacturing thing or you do anything with a 3D printer or a milling thing. That's what it said in that fucking file. Which, that's a lot of auditing. Don't worry, they have plenty of people at the IRS now to audit and everywhere else because they got an extra 78,000 fucking workers during fucking COVID. During Biden.
Here, it likely disappears everywhere. This brings...
Those auditors are allowed to have guns, which I found hilarious. I'm like, why the fuck are you strapping them up? Why the fuck are like pencil pushers getting guns? Those are the last people I would really be holding guns at the time. Because like usually the people that work in Washington, they're like not responsible. Look at how everything's ran. Look at the law, how it's written. It's like a fucking teenager didn't know what they're talking about, wrote it with an old lady. Like, yeah, he's the confident one telling her how it works. And she's like, oh, that's so bad. That's literally how all this is sounding right now.
Us to the most terrifying realization of all. If possession of a file creates a presumption of guilt, weaponizing the legal system becomes trivial. If a bad actor wants to hurt you, they don't need to plant a physical weapon in your car or your office anymore. They just need to email you a generic zip file.
I just said that. That's one of the things. Like, that's gonna turn into malicious shit, bro. Like, especially like people just like it's gonna be like swatting. It's gonna be our new form of getting them at your house.
Or host a Trojan horse.
No one wants to have that conversation and try to explain that to someone. Like,
repository that looks like a fidget spinner, but it contains illegal geometry inside the mesh instead.
Oh, I didn't think of that. Because you could hide shit in code. Wow.
Once that file is on your hard drive, you are technically in possession of digital contraband. But this isn't just about entrapment, it's about something much more fundamental. We need to be very clear about what the file actually is. The courts have ruled repeatedly that code is speech. Code is language. It is math. It's expression. In the late 1990s, cases like Bernstein versus DOJ established that source code is protected speech under the First Amendment. Design files, CAD data, STL's G-code, they are all the exact same thing.
It's what I'm saying. It's intellectual property. How are they going to take the thought from your head and that if you didn't put it, you didn't even make it. You made it, but you didn't make it like physically.
Simply instructions.
It's technically until then it's still a thought.
Criminalizing the possession of code, Washington State is attempting to create a new category of illegal speech. If they can ban a file because it may be used to make a firearm, then what happens when they ban a file that may be used to bypass a copyright?
There's going to be somebody out there, like I said, malicious compliance-wise, where they're going to, like, make a complete gun out of like the most wackadoo stuff, just so they could be like, none of these are actual gun parts. Like that starfish uses that as like the fucking firing pin somehow. Like I could see someone doing something crazy.
Used to encrypt your communications. Once you establish the precedent that the state can criminalize the possession of data, there is no logical stopping point. You might hate what someone says. You might disagree entirely with their opinion. But if you believe in freedom, you must support the right to express it. The moment that we allow a government to say that certain arrangements of ones and zeros are illegal, we have lost the First Amendment. You can agree or disagree with the content of a file, but we must all stand up and defend the right to speak in binary. On the 4th, this bill is scheduled for a vote to move it out of committee. This is not a drill. We have it on good authority that this bill is about 75% certain that it's going to make it out of committee. If this happens, it moves to the floor to be discussed and voted on by the full House. This isn't just a fringe proposal anymore. It is becoming an active blueprint. If this bill passes, it validates a strategy that will be copied in every other state.
He's right with that. This gets passed, and then after that, he said rights to repair is gone. This goes through. Rights to repair is gone. Everything is gone. About whole entire industry, just like vaping. And one night, all because someone lied about someone not knowing how to use a battery. Like there's warnings on everything, but someone burns down their house. It's on the company. Like I said, they figure out ways to get things into manufacturing stuff. Like so, the vape thing, like I was comparing to, they made it so they did all that so they can get you to buy disposable vapes, so they can resell you the packaging, because they were realizing people are becoming too on their own, independent, and actually becoming too much of a thinker, because people are learning how to do math for electricity and stuff to figure out how voltage and ohms and everything works. Contact points and how you can short out stuff, which a lot of people know that. But a few people put their batteries in wrong in a mech mod and they fucking short circuit it. They burn down their house. That's supposed to be their fault? I mean, like the world's fault? No, they use excuses all the time to take away the things so they can sell you some manufactured bullshit. This is just to show you can't make your own shit. One, to protect yourself, and they're using it for that idea. But two, because they just don't want you repairing things. Because if they get this passed, it means they're going to make it so you can't make things that are like I said, a car. We say the windshield wiper fluid, the cap to it broke off. You want to, instead of paying $45 from the manufacturer to go buy it or something like that, you go fucking 3D print your own. But they don't want you doing that because proprietary. It's all to make it so you have to just suck on their tit. It's all bitch shit. It's what this is bitch shit. It's like pimpinology shit.
It validates the idea that your hard drive is subject to inspection. It validates that the idea
48 laws of power. Honestly, they let you have. They let us have it unbridled now, before, and then now they're gonna try to start taking it back. Like we owe them dues. Oh, we let you have it, like a fucking weird father figure trying to help you. No, get out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Overstepping.
Be presumed guilty based on files in your downloads folder. This isn't about 3D printing anymore. This is about the right to possess information. If you live in Washington, I'm asking you to contact your state legislators right now. Tell them that HB 2320 is an attack on free speech, on innovation, and on every honest
innovation.
Who uses code and machines to build.
Because you can't. Nothing can ever be. They do this with everything. Look at Disney. It started with Disney and fucking patent laws, fucking making Disney, Mickey Mouse, fucking like 75-year patents and shit. Almost 100. Like it's ridiculous. Like they're just manipulating it. So now you can't take most things in history were all based upon like creative expression being used to vitalize the next thought. So like you see an idea, you want to innovate it, you patent it, and then it would go out. But now because it's out the window, patent laws take forever, and they never go out of style. So like you won't live long enough to be able to like, oh, I see this design, I like it, I can innovate on it. But because of proprietary patent laws, you won't be able to do this. Because if you go anything near the idea of fixing it or making something close to the idea of it, you will be sued to fucking shit. Or placed in jail for fucking theft. Or piracy, or a bunch of things. But it's all bleeding into everything. It's bleeding into fucking everything. You won't be able to do anything. You'll own nothing and be happy, basically. There's no amount of bitching to your senator that will do it unless we blow up their phone all day, every day where they can't make phone calls. Then they have private lines. We're never going to fix this. There's too much money that these fucking companies are paying for this to happen. Probably BlackRock, if you really look into it, or George Soros money, which is still basically BlackRock, or something to do with Israel. Because look at Israel, they're allowed to have guns over there, no issues, and 3D print all their shit. But no, not here. You're a dumb goy. Dumb fucking goy can't get nothing. You get nothing, goy.
Off the hook. These bills are
Fucking
test
fuck off, dude.
If they pass it here, they will be copy pasted into
Yeah,
your states.
big those people need to go away.
So share this video
Ooh, I'm
with
sorry, buddy, I didn't mean
everyone
to-
you know who
I didn't
cares
see you
about
moving.
technology, privacy, and freedom. Post it in your Discords, your Reddit communities, your maker groups. Do not let a bill like this pass or die in silence. And when you are done, I want you to go watch my playlist called
I thought this was on the rights to fix it. They don't want you doing anything. You're not allowed to mod anything. I said, just go make your own. They didn't make it illegal to make your own yet. So just go make your own. Go. There's plenty of YouTube videos. Watch this. There's tons of videos. Oh, it'll load up. Okay. Oh, this one can do
In
metal.
this video, I'm going to show you how I designed and built this CNC router without the use of any fancy tools and without having any previous experience on the subject. I'll go through why I built it, the design choices I made, the parts I bought, and the tools and methods that I used.
Go watch the video before it's gone. And there's plenty of other videos. Like I just had to go back. How to build, thinking about building your own, buying it. Like, there's other websites on how to make it. And you don't need to use any of the stupid shit they want. This is what I was talking about right here. It's just it's all, that one has a pie in it. Like, you can get pretty fancy with it, or like I said, they've been doing this shit since before most of us were born, a lot of it. Like, go fucking make it yourself. There's analog ways to do it too. You know, where you just control everything yourself and you turn it all and you drop it in and you move it back out. Like, they can't do this. They can't. It's not going to be able to work. Have a great day, everyone.